Ayun. Okay mo, galanda yun ha.
Next naman.
Yun.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the conference to order for the 5 projects scheduled today. On behalf of the Needs and Awareness Committee of this district, I warmly welcome everyone, all prospective leaders, observers, members of the technical working group, back secretariat, and other participants, also the programmers who are present in this conference. To start with, we may request Engineer Tumpagon to lead the project.
Father, and faith. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Lord, thank you for this afternoon and us today. This bless our daily confidence and successful that will that will be and we thank you.
Thank you, Nan. May I request the Bank Secretariat, on the protocol of attendance, acknowledge the participants, who are present. May I request the Bank Secretariat? Wait.
Good afternoon again, attendance for today's meeting conference. Block Chairperson, Engineer Jennifer Ibanag. Block Vice Chairperson, Engineer Anthony H. Casona. Regular member, Engineer Grace D. Julian. Professional members, Engineer Ayuni Grace Villampios. My shot, EPT Tulisidario. Head Block Secretariat, Engineer Aida Marinilla Villaroy. Members, Mr. Efren D. Paderes and Mr. Head Block PWD, Mr. Marvin Julius D. Ligay. Members, Engineer Camille Andy Escobedo, Engineer Melody Gale L. Bastida, Engineer Nino B. P. and Mr. Earl John L. Cavite. Programmers, Engineer Arias E. Calizo,
Present.
Engineer Carl Mark C. Tulmano, Engineer Aldrin E. Martin, and Engineer Tiba M. Romare.
Thank you, May. May I remind everyone that the purpose of this meeting conference is to discuss and clarify any provisions, requirements, specifications, and conditions contained in the meeting documents each project. So we shall now proceed to the presentation of the project. The first project is with contract ID number of 26K0044, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pigsag-an of this city with an ATC for the approved budget for the contract of 4,607,919 pesos and 87 centavos. This will be discussed by Engineer Aris Calizo. So go ahead, please.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'll be discussing rehabilitation of road at Barangay Pigsag-an, Station 0 to Station 200, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. So this project has an length of 200 meters and approved budget for the contract is 7,607,919.87. Project duration is 72 calendar days and the scope of work is rehabilitation of road with width of 2.5 meters PCCP with thickness of 0.28 meters thick. And there's also installation of solar street lights. So general drawing, it is located in Barangay Pigsag-an. So this is the vicinity map and the site development plan. It is in fronting the Pigsag-an Barangay Hall. So this is the site development plan along with its coordinates. So this is the disposal site plan and the site images or the geotag images of the project. This is the beginning and this is the end of the project. So for the plan and profile, this is the plan and profile. So here you can see the scope of works, the positioning of the positions of the solar street lights and the whole length of 200-meter length of the project. So this is the straight line diagram. So for typical drawing, this is the typical drawing. We have here a 2.5 meter both sides, so 5 meter overall width of project, and we have here the details of the typical reblocking and also whole stretch of the project. There will be an accompanying reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. So this is the details. So this is the PCCP details. The geometric design standard drawings. So for the summary of quantities, we have here B.31 permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. B.5 project billboard and signboard for each. B.72 occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B.81 traffic management, 1 month. B.9 mobilization demobilization, 1 lump sum. 1013B3 removal of actual structure obstruction, 0.23 meters thick PCCP unreinforced, 1,000 square meter. 1022 surplus common excavation 496 cubic. 1031A structure excavation common soil 4.75 cubic. 1047 gravel fill 0.43 cubic. 2011 aggregate base course 200 cubic. 3111E1 Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 0.28 meters thick 14 days 1,000 square meter. 4041A reinforcing steel grade 40 196.68 kilograms. 4051A2 structural concrete 2.2 cubic. 4056 structural concrete painting works 2.4 square meter. 6121 reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white 47.2 square meter. 6122 reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow 16.57 square meter. 6249 C1 single arm solar LED roadway lighting 9-meter pole 80 to 1 to 5 watts, 3 each. So for the minimum equipment requirement, we have here backhoe 1 list, dump truck 2 list, bulldozer 1 list, payloader 1 list, motorized road grader 1 list, vibratory roller 1 list, water truck 1 owned, plate compactor 1 owned, transit mixer 4 list, concrete vibrator 2 owned, concrete batch plant 1 list, concrete skidder 1 owned, concrete saw 1 owned, bar cutter 1 owned, joint sealer machine 1 leased, bar bender 1 owned, 1 bagger mixer 1 owned, truck mounted crane 1 leased, cargo service truck 2 to 5 metric ton 1 leased, cargo service truck 9 to 10 metric ton 1 leased, backhoe with breaker 1 leased, applicator machine 1 leased, kneading machine 1 leased, material testing apparatus 1 owned, two-way radio 2 owned, and barricade flasher light 29 owned. So we have here the inclusions of pay items. So for B.31 permits and clearances, we have the inclusion of the site pay item is the excavation permit as per City Ordinance number 12860 of 2024, page 84 of 134, and including inspection and supervision. So we have here the specifications also of the single arm solar LED roadway lighting. So for the rest of these these are the attachments. So this is the soil test reports. So that's all for this project. Thank you. And any question?
Ako lagi economist.
Yes, sir.
Pila yan para EBC. Kay during pag-live ni Batong Permires 7 million.
Sir, 4,607,000.
Kaya pagbasa ng Permires 7 million.
Kasi ba yun?
Isa lang ang yung EBC.
So the ABC of this project is 4,607,909.87. That's all.
From online viewers. It's nine. So there is no other issues. Do we now proceed to the second project on the ID number 26? In terms of 35, rehabilitation of road, Barangay Tumpagon, the city with an approved budget for the contract of 4,624,593 pesos and 77 centavos to be discussed by, again, Engineer Calisto. So, take it away.
So good afternoon again, everyone. So rehabilitation of road at Barangay Tumpagon, Station 0 to Station 200. So this also has station limit of 200 meters. With the approved budget for the contract, 4,624,593.77. So project duration is 63 calendar days and the scope of work is improvement of gravel road to paved road, PCCP width of 2.5 meters both sides, with thickness of 0.2 meters, and construction of paved shoulder along the improvement of road with width of 0.7 meters and same thickness with 0.2 meters thick. So there's also a construction of a pen line canal along the improvement of road.
It's a three.
So general drawing, this is located in Barangay Tumpagon. So this is the vicinity map. And this is the site development plan. For specific location, this is before the Centron sa Tumpagon. So as you can see here, it is before the Tumpagon National High School. So it is left side if you're going to the Tumpagon National High School. So this is again the site development plan. And this is the disposal site plan. And the site images. So this is located again before the Tumpagon National High School. So going, it is located in the left side. So for the plan profile, this is the plan and profile, indicating the scope of work in the along with the installation of solar street lights. So this is the straight line diagram. So for typical drawing, this is our typical drawing. We have here the 2.5 meter both sides width of carriageway and the shoulder of 0.7 meters both sides also paved, and the construction of line canal material use is grouted riprap. So whole stretch of this project also is accompanied with reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. So this is the detail. So this is the PCCP details, the geometric design standard drawings. So for our summary of quantities, we have here B.31 permits and clearances 1 lump sum, B.5 project billboard and signboard for each, B.72 occupational safety and health program 1 lump sum, B.81 traffic management 1.43 months, B.9 mobilization demobilization 1 lump sum, 1022 surplus common excavation 1,668.46 cubic. 1031A structure excavation common soil 7.92 cubic. 1041A embankment from roadway structure excavation 160.03 cubic. 1047 gravel fill 0.72 cubic meters. 2011 aggregate base course 141.16 cubic. 3111B1 Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 0.2 meters thick 14 days 1,280 square meter. 4041A reinforcing steel grade 40 327.8 kilograms. 4051A2 structural concrete 3.66 cubic. 4056 structural concrete painting works 4 square meter. 5052A grouted riprap class A 80 cubic meter. 6121 reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white 49 square meter. 6122 reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow 26.76 square meter. 6249 C1 single arm solar LED roadway lightings 9 meter pole 82.125 watts 5 each. So for our minimum equipment requirement, we have here backhoe 1 lease, dump truck 2 own, bulldozer 1 lease, payloader 1 lease, motorized road grader 1 lease, web rotary roller 1 lease, water truck pump 1 own, plate compactor 1 own, transit mixer 4 lease, concrete vibrator 2 own, concrete batch plant 1 lease, concrete screeder 1 own, concrete saw 1 own, bar cutter 1 own, joint sealer machine 1 lease, bar bender 1 own, 1 bagger mixer 1 own, truck mounted crane 1 lease, cargo service truck 1 lease, cargo service truck 9 to 10 metric ton 1 lease, applicator machine 1 own, leading machine 1 own, material testing apparatus 1 own, barricade flasher light 4 own. So this minimum equipment requirement will be updated so due to changes and will be posted for bid bulletin. So there will be changes for this minimum equipment requirement. So for the inclusions of our pay items, you have here B.31 permits and clearances. So the inclusion of this pay item is in CIP permits and clearances as per memo order number R10 FBV 00395 series of 2025. And these are the specifications of our single arm solar LED roadway lightings, 9 meter pole, 125 watts. So in continuation, these are the attachments. So this is the road right of way attachments and the soil test reports. So that's all for this project. Thank you, and any questions?
On the viewers, way. So, the question for this project, let's now proceed to the third project. I did not sure. It's, pero recognize rehabilitation of road of Barangay Tuburan of the city with an approved budget for the contract of 4,653,850 pesos and 33 centavos that will be discussed by the General Mark. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. For rehabilitation of road at Barangay Tuburan, with the station 00 plus 00 to station 0 plus 200, Cagayan de Oro City. With this project, we have a total net length of 200 meters. With an ABC of 4,623,850.33. Calendar days of 73 calendar days, and so forth is rehabilitation of existing road to width 6.10 meters and a thickness of 0.28 meters thick. So here the location of the said project. On the first image here is the beginning, so the side picture of the beginning of the project, and the bottom picture is the location of the end of the project. So the alignment of the said rehabilitation of road, the Barangay Tuburan is presented on the red line for the alignment shown on the picture. So the project is located kilometer before Tuburan Barangay Hall. So it is on the main road of Tuburan. Here's the plan and profile for rehabilitation of road Barangay Tuburan, shown here. So next is the typical roadway sections. The shaded color or the shaded part is the existing roadway. And this project had from 5-meter width or its existing roadway on Tuburan, we're gonna be or widening it to 3.05 for the proposed rehabilitation of road project. The aggregate base course thickness is 150 mm. And here is the typical plan for reblocking double pavement, where we are rehabbing the existing pavement. And the cross sections for the project 0 to 200. Next is the summary of quantities for the project. For B.3, for permits and clearances, we have 1 lump sum. B.5, project billboard/signboard. For each for B.72, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B.82, traffic management, 1 lump sum. Next is B.9, mobilization/demobilization, 1 lump sum. And for earthworks, we have 101-3B3 for the removal of actual structures/obstruction. 0.3 meters thick, PCCP unreinforced with a quantity of 1,000 square meters. For 102.2 for surplus common excavation, we have a quantity of 229.12 cubic meters. And 104.2A for embankment from borrowed common soil with a quantity of 52.90 cubic meters. For our sub-base and base cores, we have 211 for aggregate base cores with a quantity of 183 cubic meters. And lastly, for surface courses, we have 311 1E1 for Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced 0.28 meters thick 14 days with a quantity of 1,220 square meters. And for minimum equipments required or minimum equipments requirements for this project, we have 2-way radio, 3 owned, barricade flasher light, 10 owned, trailer for equipments, 1 lease, trailer for minor tools, 1 lease, backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 lease, payloader, 1 lease, dump truck, 2 lease, concrete saw, 1 lease, bulldozer, 1 lease, backhoe, 1 lease, motors road grader, 1 lease, vibratory roller, 1 lease, water truck slush pump, 1 lease, concrete vibrator, 2 own, concrete screeder, 1 own, bar bender, 1 own, bar cutter, 1 own, mechanized joint sealer, 1 lease, and material testing apparatus, 1 set on. If there are gonna be changes for the bid bulletin, the concrete saw will be changed to 1 ohm. So that's all for rehabilitation of road. I mean there's a next page for sorry. We have one bagger mixer, 1 ohm, and plate compactor, 1 leaf. So that's all for rehabilitation of road in Barangay Tuburan. Thank you. Any questions?
Very much, understand all of the works. There is no, so there is no other questions and issues concerned and concerns. Let's now proceed to the fourth project. With contract ID number 4026-00047. Construction of multi-purpose building, 3-story, 4-classroom school at Macanhan Elementary School, Barangay, Carmen, City, with an approved budget for the contract of 41,159,744 pesos and 9 centavos. Engineer Kesa Romares will be discussing the details of this project. So, yes.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing the project 26KH0047, construction of multi-purpose building, 3-story 12 classroom, school building at Macanhan Elementary Schools with school ID 127992, Barangay Carmen, Cagayan de Oro City with an appropriation of 42 million pesos, located at Barangay Carmen, Cagayan de Oro City. With an ABC of 41,999,744 and 9 centavos and calendar days of 300 calendar days, major categories: buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame. Similar major categories: buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. Scope of works: construction of multi-purpose buildings, 3-story 12 classroom school building at Macanhan Elementary School. The project will be located at inside the campus of Macanhan Elementary School at Barangay Macanhan, Barangay Carmen, Cagayan de Oro City. So this is the location of the proposed building. And this is the perspective of the proposed school building, the site development plan, the ground floor plan. The ground floor plan will be consisting of the feeding room, a regular classroom, and 2 classroom combined to be a library room. In the second floor plan, 2 regular classrooms and 2 classrooms combined as ICT room. In the third floor, 2 regular classrooms and 2 combined classroom as science room. The front elevation, the rear elevation, the left side and the right side elevation, the detail bay elevation, the longitudinal section, the cross section, the ground floor reflected ceiling plan, second floor reflected ceiling plan, third floor reflected ceiling plan, the roof plan, schedule of doors, schedule of windows, detail section of ramp for strict compliance as per BP 344, the blow-up detail section of handrails, the ramp detail, the PW toilet for strict compliance as per BP 344 with a grab bar, the detailed plan of the male toilet at the second floor, and the detailed plan of the female toilet at the ground floor. The foundation plan, the ground floor framing plan, second floor framing plan, third floor framing plan, roof framing plan at bottom chord level, and the roof framing plan. Here's the detailed plans of elevation of combined footing 1 and the elevation of footing 1, and the details of wall on footing tie beam and the stiffener, the schedule of footing and footing tie beam, and the schedule of columns and the elevation of the column, schedule of beams, schedule of secondary beams, and the truss 1 elevation of end wall frame and half truss at grid 2, schedule of trusses members and welds, and the concrete sunbreaker detail, the stair section detail, the blow-up detail of the stairs, detail of septic vault, and the detail of the removable concrete cover, plan of cistern tank, longitudinal section of the cistern tank, ground floor plan of the solid and water line layout, typical second and third floor solid and wastewater line layout, third floor plan solid and wastewater line layout, and the roof drain layout. The ground floor water line layout, the second floor water line layout, and the third floor water line layout, and the roof deck water line layout. Summary of quantities. Part A, facilities for the engineer, A113, construction of the field office for the engineer, 1 lump sum. B31, permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. B51, project billboard signboard, 2 each. B71, occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. B91, mobilization and demobilization, 1 lump sum. 8011, removal of structures and obstruction, 1 lump sum. 8031A, structure excavation, common soil, 1,338.53 cubic meters. 803B, individual removal of trees, small b, above 300 mm, 1 each. 8041A, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, 1619.04 cubic meters. 8042A, embankment from borough, common soil, 280.51 cubic meters. 8047, gravel fill, 97.42 cubic meters. 901C, structural concrete, 3,000 PSI Class A, 28 days, 553.11 cubic meters. 902C, structural concrete Class B, 28 days, 55.6 cubic meters. 9021A1, reinforcing steel deform, grade 40, 119,880.68 kilograms. 9032, formworks and false works, 2952.62 square meters. 1001, soil poisoning, 34 liters. 1019, storm drainage and downspout, 1 lump sum. 1010, pipes with fittings connection, 1 lump sum. 1024, plumbing fixtures, 1 lump sum. 1218, stainless steel grab bar, 7.2 linear meters. 1220, facial mirror, 8.8 square meters. 1224, cold water line, 1 lump sum. 1003-1A1, ceiling metal frame, 514.02 square meters. 1317, carpentry and joinery works, 1 lump sum. 1004-2, finishing hardware, 1 lump sum. 1006-4, steel lower door, 3.36 square meters. 1005-5, steel window, 1 lump sum. 1009-1A, jealousy window glass, 67.76 square meters. 1012-8, glass and glazing, 43.2 square meters. 1010-2B, wooden floor, wooden door, wood panel, 45.36 square meters. 1013-2A, fabricated metal roofing accessory, ridge hip rolls, 42.2 linear meter. 1013-2B, fabricated metal accessory, flashing, 97.4 linear meters. 1014-1A2, pre-painted metal sheets, corrugated long span, 548.6 square meters. 1016-1B, waterproofing liquid, 294.08 square meters. 1016-2, built up and pre-formed membrane, 68.84 square meters. 1018-2, unglazed tiles, 34.8 square meters. 1018-5, glazed tiles, 96.4 square meters. 1027-1, cement plaster finish, 2218.86 square meters. 1032-1A, painting works, masonry concrete, 2496.06 square meters. 1032-1B, painting works, wood, 565.86 square meters. 1032-1C, painting works, steel, 793.49 square meters. 1038-1, reflective insulation, 548.6 square meters. 1046-2A1, CHB non-load bearing, 100 mm, 226.54 square meters. 1046-2A2, CHB non-load bearing, 150 mm thick, 841.39 square meters. 1047-4A, metal structure accessories, bolts and rods, 344 each. 1047-4B, metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, 36 each. 1047-5B, metal structure accessories, sag rods, 245.09 kilograms. 1047 5C metal structure accessories cross bracing 397.66 kilograms. 1047 5D metal structure accessories steel plates 1476.63 kilograms. 1047 7 structural steel 1 lump sum. 1047 8A structural steel trusses 3864.64 kilograms. 1047 8B structural steel purlins 3864 kilograms. 1051 1A railing 1 lump sum. 1110 conduits, boxes, and fittings 1 lump sum. 110133 wires and wiring devices 1 lump sum. 11021 panel board with main and branch breakers 1 lump sum. 110211 pole mounted transformer with complete accessories single or three-phase pole type of platform 1 lump sum. 110216A1 generator single or three-phase 1 lump sum. 11031 lighting fixtures 1 lump sum. 11061 CCTV system 1 lump sum. 1201 ventilating equipment 1 lump sum. 1213A air conditioning system package split type 1 lump sum. 12011 water pumping system 1 lump sum. 12021 automatic fire sprinkler system 1 lump sum. 12025 fire hose cabinet assembly 3 sets. 12026B 1 fire extinguisher 12 sets. 12027 fire department connections for wet and dry type system 1 set. 12021 fire alarm system 1 lump sum. So here are the summaries for the lump sum items. The facilities for the engineer, construction of field office for the engineer, inclusion will be the temporary classroom, installed partitions at the existing covered court at the school. Next is the permits and clearances, building permit, all professionals, and the Bureau of Fire. The removal of obstruction, the demolition of the existing classroom building, and also the demolition of the HE room at the side, the removal of the one classroom at the back, and the removal of the existing toilets at the back. Safety warning signs. Here are the safety warning signs. For the plumbing fixtures, inclusion will be the water closet, wall hang lavatory with complete accessories, wall hang urinal with complete accessories, stainless floor drain, bidet sprayer, hose bib, and the eye wash shower combination. Here is the blackboard detail for the carpentry and joinery works. The items for the conduits, boxes, and fittings. Items for wires and wiring devices. Items for panel board with main and branch breakers. Items for the pole-mounted transformer with complete accessories. Items for the lighting fixtures and the CCTV system. Items for the ventilating equipment, air conditioning system, and the water pumping system. Items for the fire alarm system, fire hose cabinet assembly, and the fire extinguishers. Minimum equipment requirement. Backhoe 1 unit leased. Concrete vibrator 2 unit owned. Dump truck all models 1 unit owned. 1 bagger mixer 1 unit owned. Lathe compactor 1 unit owned. Grinding machine 1 unit owned. Bar cutter 1 unit owned. Bar bender 1 unit owned. Welding machine 1 unit owned. Truck mounted crane 1 unit leased. Concrete 1 unit leased. Material testing apparatus as per DEO 11 series of 2017 1 unit owned. And minor tools 1 unit owned. That would be all for this project. Thank you.
There is none. Let's proceed to the last project, which we discuss. contract ID number of 26880014. Network development of carriageway improvement, primary roads, one city, Cagayan de Oro City, Iligan City Road. This city will approve budget for the contract of 9,443,188 pesos and 16 centavos. To be discussed by General Aldrin Martin.
So good afternoon, everyone. I will present the network development of carriageway improvement, primary roads, Butuan City, Cagayan de Oro City, primary roads, Butuan City, Cagayan de Oro City, Iligan City, S01247 MN, kilometer 1441 plus minus 840 to kilometer 1439 plus 124. With the appropriation of 9,638,000 pesos, and approved budget for the contract is 9,443,188.16 centavos, with a total project duration of 138 calendar days. For the scope of the project, we have a 548 meter, 1.5 meter width paver block sidewalk with railings, and also a 324 meter covered pathwalk along this area. For the location for project, so the indicated area is the orange one. We have the beginning of our sidewalk and the end of our sidewalk here indicated on the image. For the start of our sidewalk here at this arrow location, we have the kilometer 1441 plus minus 424, the start of our sidewalk. In this direction. So we leave the gaps for the commercial areas. So at kilometer post 1441 plus negative minus 180, the covered pathwalk will start along this area. So sample how it looks like in post with the image. And the end of our covered pathwalk will be on kilometer 1440 plus 840. Correction, this is not the end of the. So correction, the end of our project is here in end of sidewalk at kilometer 1440 plus 740. The plan of our project, so indicated here, the red areas are the sidewalks. And also the magenta ones are the sidewalk with the covered pathwalk, with the covered pathwalk. So indicated here the stations. We have removal of actual structures from curb and also complete curb precast. For the typical details of our project, we have the typical roadway section with sidewalk, with a proposed sidewalk with railings with a width of 1.5 meters, and also a metal railing, grade 36 steel. We have removal of actual structure, obstruction curb, and concrete curb precast. And for our sidewalk, we have the concrete paving blocks, 0.10 meters by 0.2 meters by 60 mm interlocking concrete paver blocks. And below it is the item sidewalk 100 mm thick
For the typical section, roadway section with sidewalk and covered pathwalk, so indicated here the proposed sidewalk with railings and covered pathwalk. With the station limits indicated in this plan. Also the details for a sidewalk, zoomed in. With the details for our concrete sidewalk. The railing elevation plan, the connection details for the railings, and also its elevations. And also the paver block stoppers indicated in this drawing, in this isometric drawing. We have here a existing top of the RCBC. So we'll put the sidewalk above it, the 100 mm sidewalk. Then after that, we'll put the interlocking paver blocks. So we have the sidewalk and railing top view. We have the sidewalk with railing isometric view. And also the drop curve, especially on intersections or commercial areas, we will put a drop curve. We have the elevation details for our covered pathwalk. We use a galvanized steel 100 mm by 100 mm by 6 mm or 4x4 by 1/4 galvanized steel for the main framing or the post of our covered pathwalk, and also a 50 by 50 by 3 mm for the beams. We have a gusset plate, and also we have a pedestal. Here we see the roof framing plan of the covered pathwalk, and also the roof plan. We use a pre-painted metal sheet rib type. And we have a sidewalk with railing and covered pathwalk isometric view in the right side. For the summary of quantities, we have B.5 project billboard / signboard for each. B.7 2 occupational safety and health program 1 lump sum. B.8 2 traffic management 1 lump sum. B.9 mobilization demobilization 1 lump sum. Part C artwork, we have the 101 3D removal of outward structure obstruction 0.1 meter thick sidewalk with a quantity of 583.50 square meters. 101 4B removal of actual structures obstruction curb with a length of 548 meters. 1022 the surplus common excavation of 265.25 cubic meters. 1042A embankment from borrow common soil of 132.63 cubic meters. For our 4011A1 metal railing grade 36 steel, we have 548 meters. 4036 structural steel painting works with the quantity of 320.98 square meter. This is for the railings. 4041A, the reinforcing steel grade 40 with the amount of with the quantity of 7,982.80 kilograms. 4051A3, structural concrete class A 20.68 megapascal, 28 days of 54.92 cubic meters. 4056, structural concrete painting works of 251.84 square meter for the curbing gutter and also for the pedestal. We have 5031 metal frames and gratings. We have 54 sets. So we will replace the existing gratings on the sidewalk every 10 meters. For the miscellaneous structures, we have 605 curb gutter, 546 pieces. So every piece is 1 meter. 601 sidewalk 100 mm thick with the quantity of 822 square meters. You have a 6121, the reflective thermoplastic pavement markings white of 54.80 square meters. And for our material details, we have 7411, the concrete paving blocks of 822 square meters. We also have a 8031A for the structure excavation common soil, 199 cubic meters for the pedestal and footing excavation for our covered catwalk, and also 847 gravel fill with a quantity of 19.84 cubic meters. For finishing and other civil works, we have 1014-1B1 pre-painted metal sheets below 0.427 mm rib type short span of 608.63 square meter for our roofing. The 10321C painting works steel 786.65 square meter for the painting works of our covered catwalk. Oh, and 10474A metal structure accessories, bolts and rods, the quantity of 1,312 each. This is for the bolts and rods. 10475D metal structures accessories, steel plates with 2,024.05 kilograms. This is for the steel plates or base plates for the covered catwalk. And lastly, the 10477 structural steel, one lump sum. So I will discuss later the quantities of this structural steel. For minimum equipment requirement, we have the trailer for equipments, 1 list, concrete vibrator, 2 list. I will correct this late on the bid bulletin. It should be 2 owned for the concrete vibrator. For concrete batching plant, 1 list, transit mixer, 2 list, plate compactor. I will correct this also. It should be 2 owned or 1 owned. Vibratory roller, 1 list. Motorized road grader, 1 list. Dump truck, 1 list. Backhoe, 1 list. Backhoe with pavement breaker, 1 list. Bulldozer, 1 list. Payloader, 1 list. Water truck / pump, 1 list. Cargo truck, 1 list. Welding machine. So this should be owned. I will update this. Vending machine accessories, 1 owned. Bar cutter, 1 owned. Bar bender should be 1 owned. 1 bagger mixer, 1 owned. Concrete saw, 1 owned. And applicator machine and kneading machine, 1 owned. Two-way radio is 2 list, 2 owned. I will correct this. And also barricade flasher lights, 29 owned, and material testing apparatus, 1 owned. So I will correct this in the bid bulletin. The specific items that should be owned. For the lump sums, for our structural steel, the item 10477, included in this item are the galvanized steel 100 by 100 by 6 mm rectangular tube with the quantity of 18,818 90.90 kilograms, and also galvanized steel 50 by 50 by 3 mm rectangular tube, transverse 6,345.25 kilograms. So included in the structural steel for the covered catwalk. And that's all for this project. Any questions?
Right around like W. Item 600 as of current upper is 150 unit. Iba
Kasi they curve and gutter. Oh, but per piece in the lupa. Pero in the side lupa, 1 meter ang per piece.
Aso kini siya. Pero ang unit yun sa
Piece. Hindi na yun. Muna siya ang sa 2025?
Yun.
So for the carbon gutter, 1 meter per piece.
A unit of one piece is equivalent
To
to
1
1
meter, yes.
questions. From online viewers, maybe. If there is no questions from the online viewers, let's now proceed to the discussion from the back secretariat on the mechanics of the opening of bids and the schedule of the submission and the opening of bids. Let's welcome Engineer Gallo to discuss this.
Okay, good afternoon, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing the procurement requirements and procedures for these infrastructure projects. So here we have the infrastructure projects with their corresponding contract IDs and the approved budget for the contract. So for the agenda, we'll be discuss the project details and basic contract data. Next, we have the brief orientation on the minimum requirements that must be complied by the bidders. And lastly, the common reasons for the non-compliant bids. So for the procurement schedule, the buying of tender documents is until July 13, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. only. The deadline for the submission of bids will be on July 13, 2026 until 10 a.m. And the opening of bids will follow right after the deadline or the dropping of bids. The bid submission may be done manually or electronically. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. So here we have the manual submission of bids, wherein the first envelope contains the technical documents of the bidder, and next is the second envelope wherein it contains the financial proposal of the bidder. These two envelopes are separated and sealed bid envelopes with contains the original copy, the copy 1, and the copy 2. For the electronic submission of bids, the details are stated in the bid data sheet in accordance with the Department Order 87 series of 2020. Bid proposals may be submitted through an authorized representative together with the original notarized special power of attorney or SPA for sole proprietorship or board, partnership, joint venture resolution with secretary certificate for corporations, partnership, joint venture, cooperative, which is contract-specific and presentation of a company ID or any government-issued ID to ensure the representative is an official member and to prevent fraudulent actions such as unauthorized use of another contractor's eligibility for personal gain. So first, under the first envelope, the bidder must provide a valid and updated PhilGIPS registration certificate in platinum membership, all pages, and failure of the bidder to update the PhilGIPS certificate of registration shall result in an automatic suspension of the bidder's certificate. Next, the bidder must provide a statement of all of its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. And failure to disclose the required information or providing incomplete or false details may result in the disqualification of the bidders of the bidding process. Next, the bidder must provide the single largest completed contract or the SLCC. Also, the bidder must provide a contractor's accreditation board or PCAB license or special PCAB for joint ventures. Next, the bidder must also provide a bid security. We have 4 forms of bid security. The bidder will only choose one form. We have the cash or cashier's check, the bank guarantee, the surety bond, and the bid securing declaration with their corresponding amount of bid security. So here we have the standard form for the bid securing declaration. Next, the bidder must provide an organizational chart for the contract, the list of key personnel, and the list of contractors, major equipment, and laboratory units. And also for the contract ID with an EBC with more than 30 million, we have an additional requirement, which is an ISO 9001:2015 certification for medium class A contractors for projects with an approved budget for the contract, with the following ranges. So here we have the standard form for the list of contractors' key personnel and the list of contractors' major equipment units. Please see in the attached bidding documents for the required number of years for the key personnel and the required number of units and capacity for the major equipment. Also, the bidder must provide an original and duly signed omnibus sworn statement, net financial contracting capacity, and duly signed joint venture agreement, if any. So here we have the standard form for the omnibus sworn statement. So for the omnibus sworn statement, we have an additional requirement, which is the latest general information sheet or the GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Security and Exchange Commission for corporations. So for the second envelope, we have the financial requirement. The bidder must provide an original and duly signed accomplished financial bid form, the bill of quantities, the detailed estimates, and the cash flow by quarter. So here we have the standard form for the bid form, the bill of quantities, the detailed estimates, and the cash flow by quarter. So for the common grounds for the non-compliant bid, we have the observation from the previous procurement activities. Here we have the missing or incomplete required documents, and unsigned or improperly signed forms, incorrect or inconsistent computations in the bill of quantities or financial proposal, expired or invalid licenses and permits, non-compliance with specified technical requirements, and failure to use prescribed forms. So to prevent this, we have the preventive measures and recommendations. So first, carefully checking the validity of the document, ensuring all forms are signed by the authorized signatory, using the exact forms provided in the bidding documents, verifying computations before submission, organizing documents according to the prescribed sequence, and asking clarification from the back secretariat within the allowable period. So that is all, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone.
Are there any issues? Sorry. From other viewers. There is no other issues to concern. Please repeat the conference, video conferences. Now, I is hereby Rachel. Thank you and good afternoon.
Yes.